our first scene together was not our first scene in the story. Our first scene together kind of jumped ahead. But the chemistry, the connection was there. It was there. And it was not something that I said, oh, we got chemistry. It wasn't that. We were in it, we did it, and we did it.
And it felt alive.
And it felt alive. Great word. It felt alive, it felt rich. It was working.
Hello, how are we?
Well,
good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm loving Unprisoned so far, especially despite the very tense relationship between the two of you. You can just really feel the love in every scene. How quickly did that fall into place for you, Kerry?
I mean, I've loved Delroy for many, 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 many years, despite not really being in relationship with him, but loving him from afar. So I think, every step of the way, I've just been so grateful that Delroy said yes, because it's been a really special process. It's been a really, it has just felt like a privilege to tell this story and to bring these characters to life and to be able to do it together and with the rest of our incredibly talented cast and these writers and this crew. It really has felt like a privilege. This is such an important family. Their story is so important and so key to who we are as a country, that there are 80 million Americans living with criminal records, and we're not telling enough of their stories. So I'm so happy that we are beginning to bring more of this part of who we are as a culture into the spotlight.
Delroy, as much as Edwin is getting a second chance with his daughter, he's also getting like a first chance with his grandson. And I thought that relationship was so interesting. You and Finn, can you talk about being a father figure and also almost like learning from him? Yeah.
And I did learn from him. It's a great way to put it, because I did learn from him. Folly as an actor is extremely open, very, very present. And while I don't think in those kinds of terms in the moment, I'm saying that now in context of doing an interview. I don't think about that in the work. But when you're working with an actor who is that present, that open, that vulnerable, you better work in a way that will raise the dynamic. And with Finn, with Folly, that happened, and it grew just as our relationship throughout the 8 episodes grew. Our relationship throughout the process of doing this work grew. Man, I sent Folly. Actually, I called him about a month or so after we wrapped, because he did something. How many episodes have you seen?
I've seen 3.
Okay. Toward the end, no spoiler. But he did something in one of the later scenes that absolutely floored me. Floored me. And I didn't have the presence of mind, actually, to say to him, do that again, because it just got me. And I think it got me in a way that actually, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist. Maybe it scared me. It was really real. It was really full. And it encapsulated the strength, the accumulation of the strength of his work as an actor. Yeah.
So just raw talent.
Man.
And incredible instincts.
Yeah.
And also to watch him bloom throughout the season.
Absolutely.
Really spectacular.
Absolutely. And you talked about the chemistry, our first scene together. Am I allowed to say this? Our very first scene together was, I don't know either. I'll just say this.
I'll just say it.
Our very first scene, in television, in film, one does not work chronologically, right? Our first scene together was not our first scene in the story. Our first scene together kind of jumped ahead. But the chemistry, the connection was there. It was there. And it was not something that I said, oh, we got chemistry. It wasn't that. We were in it, we did it, and we did it.
And it felt alive.
And it felt alive. Great word. It felt alive, it felt rich. It was working from the beginning.
I love that so much. You guys are amazing. It really does feel like a family. I cannot wait to watch the rest of it.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.